Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're here with us today because, honestly, we are looking at a fundamental shift in how software development is managed. For years, we've relied on systems that required just endless human upkeep. But today, we're moving away from that static, manual project management and accelerating straight into the era of dynamic, autonomous pipelines. Specifically, we're going to explore how artificial intelligence is completely transforming DevOps and project management platforms. Think Jira and Azure DevOps. We're going to see exactly how AI takes the traditional static work item and injects a profound level of intelligence right into every single stage of its lifecycle. Okay, let's dive into this. Think of this as our sprint plan for the next 8 minutes. We're going to run through 1. From rules to intelligence, 2. Smart ticket creation, 3. Designing intelligent workflows, 4. Integrating Jira and Azure, 5. AI-assisted cloud migration, and finally 6. The autonomous future. Section 1. From rules to intelligence. To really appreciate where we're going, we first need to understand the baseline limitations of how traditional workflows operate today. Okay, let's break this down. On the left side of our comparison, we have the old, rigid way of routing tickets. It is entirely rule-based. So a static rule might literally just say, if a ticket is marked high priority, assign it to Team A. And that's it. It doesn't matter if Team A is currently drowning in a massive backlog, or if that specific bug requires a database expert who actually sits on Team B. A rule-based system is completely blind to context. But looking over at the intelligent, AI-based workflow, we see a totally different paradigm. Here, AI integrates directly into the decision layer. It's making dynamic routing decisions based on historical patterns, actual component ownership, and real-time workload. It's a massive leap, from blind, rigid rules to highly contextual intelligence. Section 2. Smart ticket creation. Let's transition over to the very genesis of a work item, right where the ticket is born, and see how AI steps in from day one. Traditionally, translating dense requirement docs into Jira tickets is just an absolute slog. I mean, think about a product manager spending hours combing through a 20-page PDF, manually copying, pasting, and trying to break down complex business requirements into distinct technical tasks, formatting every single ticket. It's exhausting, right? But tools like Smart AI for Jira act like absolute magic to eliminate this. In just a few clicks, the AI analyzes those massive documents and automatically breaks them down into perfectly structured epics, stories, and tasks. It even analyzes your existing backlog to group related work and suggest realistic sprint plans. By keeping the document's original structure, it completely eliminates that miserable friction between reading documentation and actually getting down to executing the work. Let's get a bit more technical and see exactly how this builds out on the back end. We can look at a specific code-to-concept sequence for Azure DevOps. Imagine a developer creates a work item, but they're in a rush, so they leave out the crucial acceptance criteria. Well, step 1, a simple Python script uses the Azure REST API version 7.1 to extract that incomplete ticket. Step 2, the script passes the ticket's title and description over to OpenAI's GPT-4, prompting it to automatically generate comprehensive test cases and acceptance criteria based entirely on context. And step 3, the script takes that AI-generated content and sends a patch request, which really just means the AI is writing the new data back into the system securely, instantly updating the Azure DevOps board. Boom! The ticket is fully fleshed out and no human had to type a single test case. Section 3. Designing intelligent workflows. Now that our ticket is beautifully created and fully documented, let's move into the active sprint to see how it transitions and gets monitored. Once that ticket hits the workflow, the very first hurdle is triage. Now, intelligent assignment uses AI to automatically assign issues by looking at who has successfully resolved similar tickets in the past, who officially owns the component, and most importantly, how busy that person currently is. So why does this matter? Well, it connects a technical feature directly to a massive human benefit. No more bottlenecking at the triage stage. The ticket basically skips the waiting room and goes straight to the best available expert, which frees up project managers to focus on actual strategy instead of playing traffic cop all day. Now, what's really interesting about this is that big 87%? No, that is not a completion metric. It's a risk prediction. By analyzing the current progress of a ticket against historical resolution patterns and team velocity, the AI operates in the background to predict deadlines. In this specific case, the AI is telling the project manager, hey, there's an 87% probability this specific ticket will miss its service level agreement deadline. It automatically tags it with a risk label so a human can step in, reallocate resources, and fix the problem before it's actually too late. It's a real game changer. And as the developer actually does the work, the AI is playing administrative cleanup.
The ticket moves through the board completely autonomously by listening for webhooks from CI/CD tools, things like GitHub, Jenkins, Azure DevOps. The AI knows exactly when code is merged, when automated tests pass, and when deployments are successful. It validates that data and automatically bumps the ticket status from in progress over to ready for QA or all the way to done. Developers get to literally just write code while the board magically keeps itself up to date.
Section 4. Integrating Jira and Azure. Of course, the reality of most enterprises is rarely just one platform, right? Different teams use different tools. So let's shift over to the cross-platform integration layer.
Integrating entirely different systems usually takes some deep coding knowledge to map all those custom fields properly. But with an integration tool like Exalate, you can use their IDA AI assistant. You literally just provide a natural language prompt like, I want to map an epic to a story, a feature to a task, and a task to a bug. That's it. IDA takes this plain English and automatically writes the complex groovy code script, which is just a specialized coding language for these types of integrations to make that sync happen. You get a fully functioning integration script, and you didn't have to write a single line of code from scratch.
And this brilliantly illustrates the exact mapping outcome generated by that AI. By seamlessly matching the naming conventions of Jira with the totally different hierarchy of Azure DevOps, the AI ensures that when a product manager creates an epic in Jira, the devs correctly see it as a feature over in Azure DevOps. This kind of AI-assisted configuration saves just hours of frustrating manual coding, endless trial and error, and testing. It just works, seamlessly translating the language of one team into the language of another.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that this level of integration goes incredibly deep. These AI-generated scripts ensure that complex parent-child relationships remain perfectly intact across platforms. They map read-only custom fields, and they can flawlessly route a customer bug reported in Jira Service Management directly over to the engineering team's Azure DevOps board. But what you should really take away from this is how critical this is for a managed service provider, or MSP. Imagine an MSP operator handling 15 distinct enterprise clients at once. They need a single pane of glass to manage everything. But if client A's proprietary data accidentally leaks into client B's board, that's a catastrophic security failure. This AI routing logic ensures strict, multi-tenant data isolation while still keeping that unified visibility for the provider.
Section 5. AI-assisted cloud migration. Now let's elevate our perspective from syncing individual tickets to moving entire infrastructures directly up to the cloud.
Migrating massive instances is, frankly, terrifying for a lot of teams. If a configuration error happens during migration, system admins usually spend hours staring at dense, thousands of lines long error logs, just desperately trying to find the one broken dependency. Well, the Atlassian Cloud Transition Agent embeds an AI assistant right into the migration UI. If a migration guardrail is breached, you just pop open the conversational sidebar. The AI explains the error in plain English, interprets the exact state of the migration, and gives you guided, context-aware recommendations on exactly how to fix it. It drastically reduces migration risk and completely eliminates the nightmare of manual log parsing.
Section 6. The autonomous future. We've seen how AI creates, routes, monitors, and syncs our work. Let's bring this ticket's life cycle to a close and look at the big picture.
Look, we all know that universal pain of staring at a blank screen on a Friday afternoon, totally exhausted at the end of a sprint, trying to manually compile release notes from a messy board. Well, the AI release notes generator does it for you. It instantly converts your completed tickets into organized, professional, customer-ready updates. Plus, AI is now summarizing high-level queue health for support desks at a glance, and even generating detailed incident postmortems the very second a critical bug is resolved. The AI cleanly, effortlessly finishes the sprint for you, so your team can actually just log off and enjoy the weekend.
Which leaves us with one pretty wild question to ponder. If the AI can read the raw business specs to create the ticket, automatically write the testing criteria, intelligently assign the work to the exact right expert, map complex cross-platform synchronizations, and transition all the statuses completely on its own, what is your role going to be in this new autonomous pipeline? It is a massive paradigm shift, moving from managing the work to managing the intelligence that does the work. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer today. Keep exploring, keep building, and I will catch you on the next one.